Okay, we're going to get ready to install the hood scoop on a 1794. There's a lot of sites out there who attempt to do a little bit of area to get that hood scoop installed here. A lot of illustration that there's a guy on tundras.com. I forget his name, but he did a fairly good job at doing a lot of good pictures, but we need to go more in depth on how to install this on the Tundra. So I ordered it. I've got it. I had it painted because I don't trust my painting. So here we go with getting this out of the package. Give me a moment while I get it out, and I'll be right back. Okay, here it is. So it's painted white, of course. 040 is your white paint code, super white. The only bad thing about the back of this is you've got these 3 notches that supposedly go in the hood, but I don't see, without making extra holes, I don't see why they are there. So we're going to file these down with a Dremel tool, and then we'll fit it on the board to get exact measurements. And there's another guy who did those, and I'm going to double check his measurements and see what we get. So let me get these taken care of, these 3 pieces here. Let me get them chopped down, and I'll be back with that. Okay. We filed down the 3 pieces that we needed to file down, 1, 2, and 3. As you can see, they are no longer in the way of doing any harm. So what we need to do is focus on where the parts are, because you don't get instructions with this. So we've got 4 of these. We've got packages of this. Looks like insulation pieces, trim pieces that go on the inside. A lot of nuts and bolts that I'll be getting into, and try my best to do this right for you guys. And we got this piece that goes in the front here. That just locks in place with these right here. So let me figure out what I'm doing. I'll be back and tell you further of what you should be doing. So I'm the guinea pig, and you guys are just following along to make sure I do this right. Back in a sec. Thank you. Okay, so I came across this here. This is telling us where these go. These are the insulation parts, you could say, that go on the rim here. I've already cleaned it with alcohol, and I have to do it again because I put my big fat finger on it. So 184, you get 2 of those. 184 goes here, and then 184 goes here on the far side. So I'm going to get these installed and wipe down with alcohol again, and I will be back in a moment. Okay, I want to show you guys that this piece, if you can see, there's a lip on it. You can see that little lip right there. And that lip is going over the side of this. So when you put it on, your lip will be overhanging on the initial thing here. But it's not going to go all the way around. I found that out with 184. It goes to this point. You can see the lip right there hanging off. And it comes all the way down. And it stops here. Now, I don't want to stretch it, because if you stretch it, you're just looking at more trouble. It's going to stretch and it's going to come off that point. But you will see little indentions here Can you see that indentation? That's about where it's going to start and stop at. If you can see that one, I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and finish. This is part 183 on the back far side. This is the side that will be facing you while you're driving. So I'm going to go and alcohol it. The center part here goes in with, you'll see a little round circle when you get yours. There. So let me alcohol it, and then I'll get 184 installed. Now, 185 goes on this somewhere. I don't know if it goes on this part here, which I say it would, but I'm not sure. I need to look at it a little closer. This is about all I can find on the internet as far as where things go. But I'll get these installed, and I'll be right back. Okay, when you get into this, you're going to see that part number 185 looks that it goes on this section here. Now this that goes on that does not have a lip like 183 and the two 184s do. There is an arrow here that you'll see, and there's an indentation here. Let me find it here. That I say it goes in alignment with the arrow. So that's the way I see it. Now, if you guys see anything different, please let me know. I mean, it's too late at this point to put it anyplace else, but it would be nice to find out. I'm going to take it that it does go there, since 184, the two of those, and the 183 is both outlining this area. So I'm going to take it that it does go there. So I'll get that one installed, and I will be back in a moment. Okay, I had to come out and take a look just to lay it up there, just to see what it was going to look like. It looks like the white is off a shade, but it's really not. I had it compared out in the sun, and it's an exact match. It's just the way the lights up there are hitting the lights down here. But it looks pretty cool. I like it. I can't wait to get the rest of it installed. But the next part, I've got a diagram here that someone else did. I'll be straightening it up and putting it on as well, so you guys can download this to help you out. But it's pretty much, well, it is on the correct area. Now, you've got from the middle, looks like 8 1/4. The side is 9 1/8. Down from here, down to where the bulge starts. Now the back area, you've got, I think it's 4 1/8, and you're counting that from this area here, not all the way back here. See, from here to here, you got the 4 1/8, 4 1/8. Well, that could be 3/8. I'll have to enlarge it on the computer to find out. But that's where we go. Let me work on the other part, the board that I'll be using to drill into the hood. I'll get that straightened out, but I'll be back to show you how I'm doing that to get you guys set up so you can get yours installed. Back in a moment. Okay, we're back to having the bolts and nuts out. This is an assortment of all different ones. It's calling for 6 plus the 2 that go on each end of this. So that gives you an 8 total. So you get 8 of those, and then you have 8 nuts to go with it. from what I can tell, these pieces are going into here. And then the other two are going into this slot. Now let me get these into position and I'll show you how that all hooks up. And I will be right back with that. Okay, let's make sure that when you put these into place, that each one has clear view. Well, not clear view, but it's clear that everything is lined up correctly, so you can put the screw in each one. Well, let's hit the hole right. Always had trouble hitting the hole. So we'll get these installed and I will be right back with the completed and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so we're going to each screw put in with the nut. Now the nut, the flange end goes up against the screw here, or the bolt. So they're all tightened down. Now next thing is to hit these where they belong. Now they take a little bit of forcing to go into there. So let me get all these in. And again, I will be right back. Okay, so you're going to have 8 nuts left over. These is what is going to secure this part onto the hood. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you're going to need these for the very last part of the install when it's actually going into the hood and you have drilled 8 holes in your hood. Scary. Yeah, I know. Really scary. Now I'm going to flip this over. And one thing, these little pieces here go here. Now, you can say that you can drill another hole in your hood, but I think these will be more than sufficient than drilling 1, 2, 3, 4 more holes in your hood. I'm at a loss on that one, so I'm going to think about that for a while. But I'm going to put these back in a bag that it came in. You may not need these for. That's going to be up to you. I'm going to look at it and see what I think about the whole thing. So since we have no instructions, we do the best we can. So I will be right back, and I'm going to start making the template. Okay, all I did was I created a cushion behind the board. I had to add some white paper to the ends because the board itself was not big enough. So I punctured, but really the holes made themselves. Once you turn this upside down to right side up to the board, they will start making the holes themselves just by the screw section popping out. So with that, we'll just take this off, if it will let me do it one-handed. Okay, it's not going to let me do it one-handed. Well, maybe it will. Okay. Let me put this up. So you can see the finished section here. All I have to do now is cut that out. And we have our template. So let me cut this out. Now I'll be right back. Okay, this is the finished product. Now I know I've got holes that are bigger than they should be. Especially this one right here. But let me see how far off I am. Let's put this right there for a second. Okay, so that lets us know that this is the hole here. Not this part. So that one. So there you go. Template made. Now let's go out to the truck. I'll meet you guys out there. Give me just a second. I'll be right there. Okay, we're back to the truck. So this needs to be 9 1/8 from actually this area here, the dip-in area. 8 3/4. It all lines up front or up top. It's 4 3/8 and 4 1/4 on this very edge. Going to the dip in here. Not this area. Boy, one of my hands gets so funky looking. So 4 1/4 from this point to this point. And that's your template. So now all you have to do, the fun task, is to tape it down and put holes in your hood. Okay, now let me get my nerve up to put holes in my hood, get it taped down, and we'll see the finished product. Oh, and don't forget, you got to take the insulation off inside the hood. And I'll have a video part on that too, all with one big area. Or one big long video. So there you go. That's how she looks. I got the blue because I didn't want it all to blend in like this white. But I didn't have any colored paper to make that work right. So there you go. Well, when I get ready to get the nerve up and grow some, get them off the cabinet, or my wife's cheffer robe, I'll get them back and I'll put the holes in the hood. See you back in a minute, guys. Okay, I went back and double-checked all my measurements. I need to go to a car lot that has a hood scoop and double-check the measurements, because this 8 3/4 that I thought was 8 3/4 is not 8 3/4, but 9 inches. Those are 9 1/8, 9 1/8. I thought that was awful strange. That's a big difference, 8 3/4. And the 4 1/8 and 4 3/8 is off as well. So, but what I did while I was here, I taped off the grooves that run up and down through here, up through that way, and up through that way. Lined up my tape. And tape does not want to stick to a waxed hood. And I went ahead and put in the area for the holes. You may not be able to see them, but there's a hole, or not a hole, but there's a mark for a hole. Mark. Well, you get the gist, all over it. So I'm going to go back and double check, make sure that the measurements that I get are coinciding with what was on the web, just to make sure we're accurate. You only get one shot at this. Don't want to put holes into something that are not correct. So, okay. So I will see you guys back after I double check my measurements. Don't know if that'll be today or tomorrow, but to you guys it'll be a blink of an eye. So let's see what we get. Okay, where I left off, I wanted to double check my measurements. So I went up to Toyota of Murfreesboro, hopped out of the truck and got a quick measurement on one. Sure enough, my measurements were off. So here are the correct measurements. It's going to be 9 inches from this part, 8 3/4 from the middle, and 9 inches from this part here. From here to the edge, you've got 14 inches. From this part to this part of the hood, you've got 4 1/2 inches. Not 4 1/8 like we thought, but it's 4 1/2 inches. So I took all the tape off that I had, and I went back, started from scratch. So now I'm getting my holes laid out where they should be. Now after this, I'll cover up the engine, take out the insulation from underneath the hood, and we'll start drilling holes. But I'm double checking everything as I go. Just wanted to keep you up to date and see how it was going to let you guys know, but we'll continue on and see where she heads. Alright guys, see you in a bit. Okay, I've got the engine covered up, so now no metal shards go anywhere. I've already taken this part, all the pieces out, and I've got to take that, there we go. Take that off, and you can see how the underneath looks. Hoping that all the drill holes end up not in one of these areas, but in the plain area. That's what we can hope for. So it looks like that piece of glue has come undone from the hood. But there you go, all covered up. Next step is to cross our fingers and start drilling. Okay, we are going to drill today. I cannot emphasize enough to check your measurements. I'm going to go over them one more time. We got 9 inches from this point, 8 3/4 from this midpoint, 9 inches from this point, not the section coming out, but right there in the middle, right before the part goes out. Then for the top, you got 4.5, 4.5. Now I did the 4.5 by stopping by a local dealership, Toyota of Murfreesboro, to get those measurements real quick. So I know 4.5 is correct. I've got the tarp over the engine. I've checked and rechecked. I've checked so much I'm doubting myself. So I need to go ahead and drill. The drill bit we're going to use is a 7/32 drill bit. That's a 7/32 drill bit. But we're going to start with a smaller drill bit first, so we don't have roll around off the hood. So I'm going to start. I'll see you guys when I've finished drilling. Back in a moment. Okay, I'm one for being honest. Now, I really thought that I would be off a tad. I'm off a tad. So I'm off one screw back here. So I need to raise the back up, put some and believe it or not, I think I'm good, but just that corner. I'll put some caulk on it and replace it on the tape and see how far off I am and re-drill it. So we'll be back after that. Well, there we go. It is installed. Ooh, I tell you, that was one job. If you're looking at doing this, please make sure your template is absolutely correct. I got stuck on a couple of spots. All because my template was off just a hair. Never mind the ball. I found them, by the way. They were in my wife's chevrolet. The measurements are correct. The part back here to this point is 4.5 inches from here to there. It is 9 inches from here down to that part here, the little seam. 8 3/4 going down to here, and of course 9 again going down to the seam here. I used a 7/64 drill bit to start the hole and ended up using the 7/32 drill bit to complete it. Now, I've already got it snugged up, and she needs a bath really bad. I already got it snugged up. Of course, it needs a 10 millimeter. And it's all in. And from next, I'll be putting back together the installation part. And she will be done. I'm going to check the bolts, or nuts, excuse me. I'll check them after a couple of weeks, make sure they're tight. If they're not, if they are coming loose, I will use a lock washer to put on there. But next is this. I'll put that on, put away. Oh, you will need this most definitely over the engine. You will get all kinds of metal shards from the hood. And please be sure and put paint inside of each one, so it'll be well done. So there you go, completed. If you want all the information, I will put it down in the bottom for you, so you'll have it, all the measurements and so forth. And if you want to see more, I mean, I've already done quite a bit. I can go over and show you things that I've already done to it. If you want to see certain things, just leave it in the comment section. If you want to like, share, subscribe, please do so. If you don't want to, that's fine. It's all up to you. But this is my first video, so I figured I'd tackle the most hardest or the most difficult project that I think would be difficult. So there you go. Been a pleasure, guys. You guys have a great day, and I will see you guys later. Thanks so. Well, I won't see you later, but you know, I'll post another video and talk to you again. Take care.